Your Daily 180, 180 seconds of pure Bible study.
Welcome to this Your Daily 180. We're looking at the book of Hosea. And we ask the question, how could a people become so depraved? How could individuals depart so far from God? One of the problems that they had was that the leaders were changing the rules. Look at Hosea chapter 5, verse number 10. The princes of Judah are like those who remove a landmark. I will pour out my wrath on them like water. I want you to get that. These are the people, Judah, they should be most loyal to God, but they're moving the landmarks. And it's not just the physical boundaries between property. Now listen, that's pretty serious. If you have a dispute with your neighbor over where the boundary is, that can get a little bit testy. I know I've had that situation. And God is very serious about the landmarks that He has laid down. Proverbs chapter 22 and verse number 28, the wise man said, don't move the ancient landmarks. And what about the landmarks that God has laid down? You know, if you go and you move a landmark and you decide you can begin to move over onto your neighbor's property, he's going to get upset about that. If we decide that we can move the landmarks that God's laid down, He will not tolerate it. Think about the idea of marriage. The Bible says in Matthew chapter 19 and verse number 4, have you not read that He who made them at the beginning made them male and female? Isn't that interesting? God had an original design for marriage, but people have begun to move those ancient landmarks. And they say, no. Marriage can be between one man, or one woman and one woman. And listen, it's coming soon. It can be between one man and 5 women. How in the world do they come across moving those ancient landmarks? Who gave them the right to move that? Who gave anyone the right to move the ancient landmarks when it comes to the nature of the church? Some people say, well, you can attend any church you want, the church of your choice. But we're told in 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 10 that we are to speak the same thing, be of the same mind, be of the same judgment. How in the world can we go to the church of our choice when God's laid down, here's what I want, and I want there to be absolute unity? One group teaches this, one group teaches something completely contradictory, and we say, oh, it's all good. Good for who? Good for the one who's moved the landmarks, but not good for the one who's laid them down. We have no right to change the things that God's laid down. Join us again tomorrow.